From CNY Central, this is NBC3 News at 5. Presented in enhanced widescreen. Voted Best Newscast by the Syracuse Press Club for the second year in a row.
We're beginning with breaking news tonight. Firefighters battling flames as a fire tore through a former factory known as Camillus Cutlery in Camillus. It's been there a long time. And look at the flames in the video we're seeing here tonight. Very dramatic. We're live on the scene where the fire died down, but it really has been growing throughout the afternoon now.
Yeah, certainly people who live and work in the area have been in touch with us. They've been sending us pictures throughout the afternoon. They tell us the smoke and flames can be seen for miles.
Very dramatic. We're going to get to more of that in just a second. Also tonight, thank you. Back to our breaking news tonight in Camillus, where fire crews have been fighting flames, and they have been roaring this afternoon at the old Camillus Cutlery building. This gives you an idea of where it is, Megan.
That's right. Crews are on the scene on West Genesee Street in Camillus. Smoke and flames can be seen for miles. That's what people who are in the area are telling us tonight.
Yeah, you can see it from the highway from Route 5. During the factory's long history, it made knives for combat, also for the Boy Scouts of America. At one point, Camillus Cutlery and its workers were turning out 8,000 knives a day. The plant closed back in 2007 after 131 years of doing business. They had some labor problems towards the end. Last year, a Skinny Atlas development firm bought the building with plans to turn it into a medical wellness facility. It's not clear where those plans are in terms of moving forward, but what is clear tonight is that building is burning to the ground.
Well, let's go live to the scene tonight. Our Dora Scheidel joins us live there with the latest. And Dora, we can still see smoke behind you. What's the scene there tonight?
Good evening, Matt and Megan. You can still see smoke. You can actually still see flames at the Camillus Cutlery building, or the old Camillus Cutlery building behind me. And if you can believe it, this is a huge improvement from what I saw when I first arrived on scene a couple of hours ago. There were huge flames, huge black smoke just cascading from the building. Truly the most involved fire that I've ever seen in person or up close as a reporter. Now, the improvement is obviously due to the hardworking firefighters out here, but also due to Mother Nature. The rain started coming down just at the perfect time. I did speak to the first fire deputy chief about a half an hour ago. He tells me that this fire is 0% contained, and it will be a few more hours until any containment is reached. Now, the problem that they're having is that they don't have enough water to put the flames out, but they have called in 25 to 30 more agencies to help with that, and hopefully the rain is also helping. I did speak to a woman named Kelly who literally lives right behind the old Camillus Cutlery building, and she tells me it's been somewhat mesmerizing watching a fire literally in her backyard.
Kind of like, oh my God, it's right there. So it's hot, you can feel all the heat because we're so close, and also worried about it doesn't, get to our house. Hopefully they can contain it over there.
Now, the first fire deputy chief with the Camillus Fire Department tells me that the building is 50% in and is at zero containment at this point. The building has actually already collapsed, and they do think it will be a couple more hours until any form of containment is reached. But I'll be here and bring you updates throughout the evening. Reporting live from Camillus, I'm Dora Scheidel. Back to you in the studio.
Sad ending for really a fixture in this community for more than 100 years. Thank you, Dora. The Wheatsport. Moving now to the village of Camillus, where we're following breaking news tonight. A Central New York landmark, the Camillus Cutlery plant, is on fire. It's been burning for most of the afternoon. Flames first were reported about 1:30 this afternoon at the intersection of Newport Road and Camillus, West Genesee Road in Camillus, prompting response from area fire departments across that section of the county. Now, the plant closed back in 2007 after 131 years of doing business. It has many holdovers from knife manufacturing, including solvents and oils inside that building, which may have contributed to this roaring fire erupting several hours after it initially started. At one point, workers at Camillus Cutlery, by the way, were turning out 8,000 knives a day for combat and also for the Boy Scouts of America. Our top story tonight, a landmark that's been in Central New York for a century. Well, you can see the flames here. It is burning tonight.
Dramatic video we captured for you this afternoon. At one point, this plant turned out more than 8,000 knives a day for combat and for the Boy Scouts. We are going to have a live report from the scene on this breaking news where our Dora Scheidel is standing by. with the very latest. That's coming up in a moment.
We are following breaking news out of Camillus tonight, where a Central New York landmark is up in flames.
The Camillus Cutlery plant closed back in 2007 after 131 years of business, and this is what happened there today. A huge fire broke out there. It still has some solvents and oils inside, which may have fueled the flames.
Yeah, a really dramatic video this afternoon. Here's a quick look, though, at how it was in the past. One of the largest manufacturers of knives in the world. It was a private label manufacturer, one of the biggest in the U.S. Knives are made for combat, also for the Boy Scouts of America.
It is located along 9 Mile Creek. It was critical because the stream's water was used to cool blades, and at one point, workers at Camillus Cutlery were turning out 8,000 knives a day. Our Dora Scheidel joins us now live with new information. She's at the scene on Newport Road and West Genesee Street. And Dora, what are you seeing there right now?
Good evening, Megan and Matt. Certainly a stubborn fire here at the former Camillus Cutlery factory. If you look behind me, you can see that there's still smoke pouring out of the building and actually still some flames on the second story. But I can tell you that this is a huge improvement from what I saw earlier today. We don't have any word on containment, but I can tell you with what I saw in my own eyes, I do believe that the firefighters are making some huge progress on this fire. When I first got here, huge flames and thick black smoke was pouring out of the building. It was truly the most involved fire that I've ever seen in person during my reporting career. Now, I did speak to the first fire deputy chief with the Camillus Fire Department, who tells me that this fire is 0% contained at this point and will probably be a few more hours until any containment is reached. A problem that they're having is they actually aren't getting access to enough water, but they have called in 25 to 30 more agencies to help with that, and the rain that's coming down will also hopefully help with that effort. I did speak to a woman who lives behind the former Camillus Cutlery factory, and she tells me that it's been somewhat mesmerizing to watch this fire from her own backyard.
Kind of like, oh my God, it's right there. So it's hot. You can feel all the heat because we're so close, and also worried about it doesn't, get to our house. Hopefully they can contain it over there.
Now, the first fire deputy chief tells me that the building is 50% fully involved. It has already collapsed, and like I said earlier, we're at 0% containment at this point. It'll probably be a couple more hours until any containment is reached, but I will be out here at the scene and bring you live updates throughout the evening. Reporting live from Camillus, I'm Dora Scheidel.
Certainly an impressive scene. That smoke and flames, they could be seen from miles away.
Yeah, dramatic even as the sun is setting tonight. Thank you, Dora. Last year, a Skinny Atlas development firm bought the building with